Today's job on my Alvis TA14 is to remove the head, as the head gasket has blown. First job is to undo the exhaust flange, and then we'll start at the top. Safety first, of course, is to put the stop block under the back of the car so it won't roll off when the ramp goes up. So these awkward nuts are a little more accessible for underneath the car, and I'm fortunate in having a ramp for access. So even so access is a little bit tight, the fact that I'm using brass nuts means that the access through the underseat is ideal, and with a long extension I can get onto the nut quite easily, and being brass it will just undo really easily, just like that. So that's good. I don't like that job usually, but because I've been there before, it comes undone a treat. Having got the exhaust detached from the manifold, next job is to get the air cleaner and all this associated rubbish away so that we've got more access to the head. With the carb out the way, my homemade heat shield, which works a treat, just a bit of stainless steel folded, is removed and leaves just the manifolds clearly to view. One last job is this earth strap on this side of the engine, which connects to the head and of course will stop it being removed. Relatively easy just to undo that. Eventually, after lots and lots of turns, the temperature sender unit will then come free. But even so, you have to pull it out quite carefully, and then that just sits out the way, and I'll wind that back from the other side. The oil pipe flange here, which I've forgotten about, nestling under the input manifold, is a right bee to get to. However, eighth of a turn, it can be made to come loose. You can see I've already taken the spark plugs and the leads out, and there's a tube that holds them onto this one. At the back end, I've already disconnected the heater connection there, and of course I shall move my nice glass bottle out the way just in case I bump into it and crack it, because I really don't want to do that, so that will come out the way. Other than that, on this side you can see it's relatively empty. You can see where the head gasket's been leaking right at the back here, and that's where I'm pretty certain it's failed. Certainly this is the piston that chucks out water when you turn the engine over, which passes. So next job is to think about taking the valve covers off and take the push rods out, and then we can start taking the cylinder head off itself. First job is to take this little oil feed pipe that feeds the oil to the to the rockers. So it's just a brass bolted pipe which just needs removing. Should come off relatively quickly and easily. Try not to bend it. Now that the rockers are loose, we've got to be very careful not to lose the nuts down this oil way here. So I always try and block that oil way up as best I can, because if you lose something down there, you're going to be fishing for months. There's one. And the washer. We'll get that out in a minute. So the rocker comes off. So I, like a lot of people I'm sure, keep the push rods in order. So I take number one out and put it in the first hole, and so on and so forth. And then we'll go and put that somewhere safe. So with the taking off the rockers, that exposes all the head studs on this side, except for the two at each end, and then I've just got the ones down the other side. So I'm just going to change sides again. Now with the head off the car and on the overhead hoist, I can very easily lift the head well up out of the way, get it clear of the bodywork and slide it across to the desk. Very useful. No back-breaking work either. And here we can see the issue. You can see where the exhaust gases have blown into the water outlet, which is clearly how the water was getting into number 4. So hopefully a new head gasket will solve the problem.